I remember a long time ago, and this has been years ago, at S4, the guy said, a guy told me, a high-ranking guy, told me that they were going to make the money dirty. You understand what I'm saying?
They were going to, you remember somebody at S4 a long time ago telling you what?
They were going to make the money dirty.
The money dirty.
And I really didn't put two and two together. Well, they want a cashless society because now they're going to use this pandemic to say we don't need cash anymore because it passes germs.
Okay.
There?
Yeah, you think that's what they meant? You think
Yep.
that? Okay.
I know that's what they meant. He said, we're going to cause a situation that will make a cashless society. And you know, at that time, I didn't believe, you know, I told you before, I didn't believe anything I heard. I took it for a grain of salt. But now I got to thinking about it, and I thought, oh, my God, they are making it dirty. This is the perfect time to make a cashless society. Perfect time. Can't pass cash along because it's got the COVID-19 on it.
So that's what they meant by money dirty. Okay. And what was that in context to some other agenda they were talking about?
Well, he told me that they needed a cashless society. And like I said, back then, I just let one thing go out in the ear and out the other. But, you know, sometimes it takes me years to remember until something happens. And now it's happened. And now I know exactly what he was talking about. They're wanting to go to a cashless society, to a digital coin, digital money.
Exactly.
And already, when you get a, you know, well, we haven't really got any money. It's just a digital report. That's all it is, a digital entry.
Yeah, that's true.
So, with that said, the guy told me that we were going to make the money dirty. Now, that pretty much spells it out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Where we couldn't handle cash anymore.
And that's been in a couple movies that I've seen, or TV series. They infected the money system, just like you're saying, as well as the food supply and a couple other things. Right.
So we went to the store today, and we finally found milk. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not, we're being lied to like hell. Listen, the H1N1 killed 57,000 people last year. We're not even close to that with this.
Yeah, this is an agenda. This is an agenda to bring in the mark of the beast.
This is it. Right. This is a media agenda. The media is doing this. Donald Trump knows the media is doing it. And I don't know what I think about him. But I know he did say that.
Controlled opposition.
I don't think he's one of them. I don't think he knows the damn thing. I don't think he knows the damn thing.
How is this
because there's certain things that people say that I know.
How is this all related to the bigger alien agenda to replace humanity and the fallen angel agenda waiting for the Holy Spirit to be removed? How is this, what's going on now, related to that?
I think this is step one, that we are now entering into the tribulation right now.
Right, but remember when you were there and you had the reptilians and fallen angels, and they said, "You just wait when it's our time." What did they mean by that in context to what's going on now?
They are going to show up in force. The UFOs and all this stuff. The government can't hide it for so long, and you know that. You work for the government; they can't hide the things for so long. And this is coming forth beforehand, and they're going to come on this isn't this is just the first wave of plagues. We've got another one coming, and it's the COVID-19 again, but only mutated. And they're going to come and say that they're our space brothers and that they're here to help us get through all this. And that's going to open the door for the Antichrist.
So I agree with you. I think the sequence of events.
They're going to tell us.
I think the sequence of events is this COVID issue going on to drive the economy into the mud, then an economic collapse, which will bring on a war, which will then have the fake alien invasion to come. We're your saviors. I think it's that sequence.
It's the fallen angels and the Nephilim agenda. Now I know why these Nephilim were in suspended animation. And that they could still kind of, remember I told you I touched it and it didn't feel like ice or anything, but it looked at me.
Yeah.
They're waiting for their turn, and it's their turn. It's their turn now. It's their turn. And CERN's bring it on, and not just CERN, there's a lot of places bring it on. The Vatican is the key ruler of all.
So, Greg, you got a minute, or what are you doing?
I got a minute.
I've always had to question between.
I'm sick, but I'm gonna.
We got a delay in our line, but always had a question. You know, the reptilians you said sometimes would shapeshift and even disappear. I always was confused between what is flesh and blood, what is a true fallen angel, and what is like a mix, a hybrid. What's a pure fallen angel that you saw? What's a flesh and blood reptilian? And then what are the Nephilim in between? How do you make sort of all that out?
The flesh and blood reptilians are our leaders. They're evil. And everybody I ever talked to said that, you know, the Palladians and this and that, they act nice. That's just a ruse. You know that. But when they see the reptilians, they knew that they were evil and they were afraid. I was afraid. Because they'll tear you apart like a Komodo lizard. They just rip you apart. And there were giants down in there. I told you about the giants down there. And they're waiting to be loosed. And they're cannibals.
Were there a lot of giants or just a few?
They're cannibals. There were millions of them. I only seen some. But I was told there was millions and millions of them. In this place and that place. You know what I'm saying?
So
they were here, they were there.
Inside the earth, because the earth is vast and they were all down there.
Right. And I was reading the Bible. Remember, they come up. And in, what is it, Jude? Or let's see, I'm trying to think of it. I don't have a Bible in front of me right now. The giants will fulfill my wrath, God said. The giants will fulfill my wrath. And then Jude, is it Jude? I think, where it says your mothers will give birth to monsters. We're there. You were right the other day when you said this is it.
Yeah, this is it.
This is it. I haven't slept for 2 days. I haven't slept for 2 days thinking about that. And now all the stuff that I've seen before that I couldn't understand, I understand it now.
Well, I'm recording.
I understand it now.
I'm recording, so lay it out for the people. Lay it out for them.
Okay, here's the deal. When you see the days of Noah, and I've just been reading here lately about the days of Noah. Okay, I've been reading it again. What were the days of Noah? Now, God doesn't make mistakes. When he says it's going to be as in the days of Noah, what was it like during the days of Noah? The giants. the cannibals, the perpetual sin. We were at perpetual war when he said, your seed will be at enmity with my seed. He meant that was perpetual war. And I've done some studying of my own, and I think now I might be wrong, but I think the Reptilians are the ones that come from the ocean. That's what I think.
Well, you were down in the ocean. Did you see? I mean, you were in the bubble cities under the ocean. Did you see only the reptilians down there, or did you see other things?
No. I seen a bunch of giants, and some of them exceeded, 31 feet. Now, I'm not saying they're 100 feet or anything, but I seen some that were over 31 feet. It was like looking at a tall tree.
Well, remember that time?
And it was a scary thing. I mean, go ahead.
Yeah, remember that time you were coming in at night to take care of a security breach, and you said I thought you said there were 250-foot ones guarding the place, and you had to take them out by two snipers and parachutes.
Yeah, we did.
So they were a lot bigger. They were a lot bigger than 31 feet.
Oh my God. I didn't have a measuring stick. And I didn't run up to say, how tall are you? But I'm going to tell you this for the people. The only thing that kills them is solid copper bullets square to the head. I said that a long time ago. You remember?
Yep. With quicksilver.
And then when they fall over, you got to take a chainsaw and cut their heads off, because that's the reason that David had to cut the head off of them and hold it up, because they have regenerative properties. You don't cut the head off them after you slay them. They'll heal.
Have you been into the spiritual realm, like when the fallen angels take on flesh form, and then they dematerialize back into the unseen realm? Where is that unseen realm, and have you been to it?
I don't know where the unseen realm is, but I can tell you this, that Nancy Pelosi and Schumer and a whole bunch of others are reptilians. They're reptilians. I knew about Nancy Pelosi then, but I didn't give her much thought because she wasn't much heard of. They're reptilians, bro.
So
define. This is it. We're thick. This is anytime now. We're going to see the giants, and we're going to see the UFOs. They're going to come. They're coming anytime now. I'm talking about. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. Could be next year. Could be next month. They're coming now. This is it. When you said the coronavirus the other day, this is it. This is the opening door of disclosure.
What purpose does disclosure serve?
Because they're going to come back.
What purpose does
disclosure? They've been doing soft disclosure. Sir.
Go ahead.
Well, disclosure serves. They're doing it mildly because they want the world. Even the church is corrupt now. Joel Osteen and all these big mega churches, they don't know anything, and they will follow the rules by the book. And these people, these things, these entities are coming back in full force. We're going to see them everywhere in the world, not just in the United States. And I'm not saying it's going to happen tomorrow. And I'm not saying that we're not going to go to war first, but they're going to come in and have the solution and tell the church that we are their space brothers. That we are their space brothers, and they're here to calm things down, and they will find a solution, and it will work for a time.
Yeah, just like the TV series V, that's what they did here. We're here with your medical centers and we're here to help. Just come on. That's what the TV series V was. They came to save mankind from health issues and everything else.
Right, but it's all a lie, and we're being lied to now. We're being lied to about how many people died and how many people got it. It's all a big lie.
So what's the purpose of the current coronavirus lie, as you call it? What's the bigger agenda purpose as you see it, as it relates?
Okay. Here's the way I see it. We had SARS and the swine flu. As long as, Obama, the Muslim Obama, and that's what I call him. I don't know what you call him. That's what he was in. Everybody bought everything he said. So now Trump comes in and he's draining the swamp, and nobody believes. They don't know what to believe. Was Obama telling us the truth, or was Trump telling us the truth? So everybody's mixed up. So when these space brothers come, they're going to have the exact perfect solution for the problem. And that will make all the Christians, well, not all, most of the Christians turn away from the faith, because here's some people that came down, or some entities came down, that had a problem to the solution, and they cured our disease, and they cured our economic problems, and they created the one world order so that everybody's at peace. That's right. What's going on.
Right.
The COVID-19 is just number one of the agenda, and we now need to be prepared to go to war against the devil. We need to. We've got to be prepared.
What do you mean by that?
We have to be prepared with copper bullets and guns. Look how they're trying to take our guns away, because they know that copper bullets kill the entities. They know it. They know it. And they don't want us to be able to do it. They don't want us to be able to do it. The people that are suffering are the veterans that went to war for us and come home, and now they're not allowed to have a gun because they say they got PTSD and they're dangerous. They're not dangerous. They're our allies. Your neighbor's dangerous.
Yeah, this is the end.
Understand?
This is the end game.
This is part one of the end game.
So help me understand.
I just thought I'd call you.
Yeah, help me understand the difference between when you were down in the underground bases. How would you know if you were looking at a fallen angel or a reptilian? Because I don't think they're exactly the same.
No, they're not. A fallen angel can take the shape of a man. And people say, well, how can fallen angels have sex with women? I'll tell you how they have sex with women, because they can shapeshift and downsize themselves as a man. But the fallen angels, I don't think, were any bigger than a man.
Well,
it's their offspring that were the giants.
Did you see the fallen angels underground?
Yeah, I've seen some that were just the size of a man, and they didn't look too much different from the man except for their eyes. Their eyes were purple and sometimes black. You could walk by one. It was in suspended animation is what I call it. I don't know what else to call it. And then walk by him again, and his eyes are black while he's staring at you. Just solid black.
Are you referring to what we call?
You know what I'm saying?
Are you referring to the Nephilim that were in the blue tubes, or are you referring to other fallen angels that were walking around and talking, kind of thing?
Both. I'm just now putting this together myself because of this coronavirus. I'm just now starting to see the light. Now I know all the confusion that I had about all this. I was kind of confused about it. You know that. I don't know what I was seeing, but I know what I was seeing now. I know it now. I know it now.
What were you seeing for the people listening?
And the crafts and all this stuff. Well, what I was seeing was entities. There's Pete. Listen, what's his name? That got barred from the country because he was a traitor. Snowden. Snowden wasn't a traitor. He said, quote, the whole government is run by extraterrestrials. Now, we don't call them extraterrestrials because they're extra dimensionals. They don't come from the Palladians. That's 39 light years away. That's going to be awful hard to prove, isn't it? They lie. And they're good at lying. And we have a colony on Mars, and we have a colony on the moon. I've never said that before. We've got a colony on Mars, and we have a colony on the moon. I've never seen them. I was told that by some real high-ranking officials, and I believe it because they were serious as a heart attack.
You said to me one time that you actually were taken to Mars by you escorted some generals to Mars.
Yeah, I say that.
You're correct. There are colonies on Mars and there are colonies on the moon. I'm very much aware of that. Some of the work that I did, I can't talk about, would confirm that. So you are correct.
I know.
And I know people that have been to those colonies.
You know that I'm telling you the truth.
So because the reptilians are the hybrids, they're the tares, they're the administrators of this world for the devil. They're his actual literal children. I teach about that often. They're the triple helix serpent seed. But the fallen angels who sired the serpent seed, I'm still trying to get more information because often you said some of the leadership, the reptilians also can shapeshift into a man as the fallen angels can shapeshift. But how did you know the difference when you were looking at a reptilian or a fallen angel? How did you know the difference when they were all walking around?
The only reason I knew is because I watched them shapeshift from a man to a reptilian. And when they become reptilians, they got tails. And when they get aggravated, their tails whip like a cat. You know what I'm saying? And there's one reptilian called Pindar. I don't know if you've ever heard of him.
Yes.
But Queen Elizabeth, okay, everybody's afraid of Pindar. All the reptilians are scared to death of Pindar. I don't know why, but I know that there was a reptilian called Pindar. And he was the meanest of all of them. And all the others, when they shapeshifted and had their things where they rituals, where they tore flesh apart and stuff, they all were afraid of Pindar. They were afraid to make him upset.
Did you ever see or meet Pindar?
I don't know. I don't know if I did or not.
Okay. Then tell me how you knew.
I just know it was told to me.
Tell me how you knew that you were.
Because it was told to me.
Okay.
There was a reptilian, or there was a scientist. Let's put it scientist. I don't know if he's physicist. Who knows what he was? But he was high up on the chain of command in the civilian world. And he told me, he says, watch your mouth shake when I say the name Pindar. And I mean, they would almost just faint because they were afraid of Pindar.
That could have been Lucifer in a reptilian form or in his reptilian form.
Well, it could be. I don't know what it could be. I mean, I'm just telling you. These are things I haven't never spoke about. And it's unbelievable. It just reconfirms to me that the name Pindar is recognizable by you.
Yeah, I'm familiar with that.
Okay, Pindar's the worst of the worst. And they're all afraid of them. You know, Queen Elizabeth and all them, they're all shapeshifters, all of them. And when they shapeshift, they got these tails. And I never met Queen Elizabeth, you know that. But I've seen the shapeshifters, and when they get it agitated or scared, their tails whip like a cat. You know how a cat does?
Yes.
Their tails whip like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is that regardless of what we just talked about, this COVID-19 is step one towards everybody seeing everything I told you. Because it is going to come to pass. And we are not going to get raptured out of here when that happens. So those that say it doesn't mean nothing to me because I'm going to be out of here are fools.
So what should people be doing, Colonel?
Well, they should be getting their weapons together, buying copper bullets from Barnes Bullets. Barnes, Barnes, bullets.com. And reloading yourself because in the heaviest caliber that you can shoot is even better. You shoot them in the head, and then you take a chainsaw and cut their head off and leave them lay, and they'll dissipate. That's not, I know it sounds funny, but that's no joke. I don't know why they can't stand copper, but they can't.
Yeah, but a lot of these will be looking like
it.
people. I don't think you're advocating just shooting any old person. How would they know that it was a reptilian?
You'll know. You'll know it. Because when they told us there'll become a day when they can't even hide their identity anymore. And it's coming soon. They need menstrual blood from women. They abduct, or they have in the Illuminati women that they breed for this. And during their menstrual blood, they eat them. It's the menstrual blood of the virgin that gives them their power. But because they're running out of that, because the world is so sexual and everything that it can see, there is no more innocence. And they can't hide their identity anymore without it.
So it's their hand is being forced by many factors. One is there's very little innocent blood left, even if they breed it underground. And I think Planet X is forcing their hand.
Look, we've killed all the innocent blood. Why do you think we do abortion 9 months and all this and that? We're getting rid of the innocent blood so that the reptilians can have their heyday and show who they truly are without having to painstakingly, painfully, and thirsty for blood, don't have to hide their identities no more.
So they want the reptilians to come out.
They want them. And the reptilians used to be on Mars. And there was a war with the reptilians and some kind of, I don't know what the other one was, the other type of entity. But there was a war. And there was an agreement between them that the reptilians would come back and that they would make an agreement, but they never did. The reptilians got jealous and stayed here. These are the ones that didn't keep their first estate.
Yeah, I think the ones that didn't keep their first estate were fallen angels, not reptilians, and those were the ones you saw underground in the blue ice.
They were, but the reptilians, who do you think their leaders are?
Right, they are the leaders. Indeed,
who are their leaders? That's right. And they say what goes on and don't, because reptilians are so mean I mean, they're just like a bear with rabies. And so are the giants. The giants are like bears with rabies.
So as I see
But
it,
remember that God said,
yeah, go ahead. As God said.
God said that they can't harm a hair on our head. And I have this vision of the giants coming through a forest, knocking down trees and everything, whatever, and fallen angels. And they know that you got the seal of God on your forehead. And the seal of God is your DNA. Your DNA has harmonics to it. It has a harmonic. It sings. And the 144,000 that the Jehovah's Witness thinks they're musicians to play harps. And remember, the harp drove away the demon from King Saul. They're musicians.
I never heard that before, but I do know that the DNA is what they're targeting now. The COVID is actually leading to a forced vaccination that will change your DNA and is the mark of the beast. The vaccination injects the mark of the beast, which will change your DNA. And therefore,
Right. But it's only the mark of the beast if you understand that it's the mark of the beast. If you understand that it's the mark of the beast, then it is. Well, if you're innocent and don't know the difference and take it, it isn't.
Well, it's going to change your DNA one way or another.
But there's plenty that are. Yeah, it's going to change your DNA. And then 5G mixed with that is going to agitate DNA and cause chaos and death.
What did you hear about 5G from the insiders?
Well, I've just been watching, the YouTube and this and that, and so I looked it up myself.
Did you ever hear?
5G is 60 It's 60 gigahertz, not 60 hertz like we used to have when Tesla invented the communication system. He went with a low frequency. This thing vibrates at 60 million times a second when it goes through you. 60 gigahertz. And now they're coming up with 6G, which is called Genesis 6.
Unbelievable.
Is that to wake up the giants? You understand what I'm saying now?
Yeah, I do. I just didn't know if you had ever heard.
Why are they calling it Genesis? Why are they calling it Genesis 6, buddy? Because they know it's going to wake up the giants. It's a frequency. When God spoke the world into existence, he spoke through a frequency that made it happen. There's a frequency. That's what CERN's all about. They're trying to find a God particle. They're trying to find the frequency that God spoke at. But they're only going to find the frequency of the devil.
That's pretty intense.
It is intense. And I've got this knowledge from God. When they come up with 6G and call it Genesis 6, what happened in Genesis 6 for crying out loud? What happened?
The giants bred with mankind.
That's right. And remember, it says to Daniel about the clay, the miry clay mixed with iron, and they shall mingle their seed with men again. That's pretty blatant to me. I don't know about anybody else. That's pretty blatant to me.
Right.
Pretty blatant.
In Genesis 6, it was the fallen angels mixing with mankind. And then Daniel talks about it in Daniel 2, verse 42 or 43. They shall mingle their seed with the seed of man, but it shall not cleave as clay does not cleave with iron.
Cleave to them. That's right. So they're going to do it all over again. That's why God destroyed every living thing except for Noah and his family. And, Noah and his family, he said he was pure in his generations. People say, oh, he was sinless. No, he was way far from being moral. He was a very immoral man, but his seed was never mixed. His seed never mixed with giants.
Exactly.
He was an immoral man. He wasn't moral at all.
But his seed,
I guess in that day he would be 100,000 times moral than we are today.
right? But his seed was perfect in that generation.
Yep, generation. You got it right. He was perfect in his generations.
And that's what we teach in identity Christianity, that the seed of Adam had to be maintained pure.
Right. And the devil's whole idea is to destroy man, it's to destroy the seed of Adam.
Exactly.
He doesn't care about doesn't believe. He cares about the people like me and you that do believe. We're the ones he wants to destroy.
Well, the alien abductions have already tinkered with most of the DNA of mankind. There's not much pure seed. Remember it says, Colonel, as in the days of Noah. Well, as in those days, there was almost no pure seed left. And today, there is almost no pure seed of Adam left.
Thank you very much. Make sure that you post this tonight, because we haven't got time. Post this on your website tonight on YouTube.
I'll do that. Thanks for calling. Give me some heads up.
Yeah, well, I know. I normally don't. I'm sick. I got a fever. I think I got COVID-19, but I'm getting by. But I need that MMS, bro. I gotta have it.
Until I can get some to you, eat natural vitamin C. Get yourself, go to the store, get some coconut oil, natural vitamins.
D3 with K2.
D3, K2, natural.
D3 with K2, potassium iodine.
Right.
I know what to do, but I know MMS is the cure, because hydroxychloroquine is nothing but a chlorine drug. You know.
Yeah, it's a form of MMS.
Yeah. MMS is stronger than it.
Yeah, I'll get you some.
So please, I'm begging you. Please.
Okay, Colonel. Well, listen, thanks you for calling. Hey, yeah, call me every day if you want.
Yeah, I will. I'll start calling you more often, because I'm getting more and more revelation, because all the things I couldn't understand are starting to, you know how God is. I'll tell you when the time is. You can see this right now and not understand it, but I'll tell you later when it needs to be said. And today was the day.
Okay, well.
So I want you to go on YouTube and post this today and send it to me.
I'll do that.
We're out of time.
Well, it's the end of the beginning and the beginning of the end.
All right, brother. That's exactly right. And people need to know what they need to do. And I got some other things I'm not feeling my fever. I'm starting to sweat now. I'm outside, and my fever's going up again. I'm going to take some Tylenol. But listen, I need that MMS. But I want you to post this today. If I died tonight, I want you to post this today.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Post it.
Copy that.
All right.
Okay, Colonel. God bless you.
Brother.
Love you too, man. Bye-bye, Colonel. Take care.